Yes, my friends, the rumors are endless. There's been a lot going on with the Detroit Lions, and I'm here to keep you all informed. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Be sure to hit the like button if you believe we'll do much better this season than last. I don't know about you, but I'm very confident that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes will leave the team 100% ready to win. If you believe that, comment, I believe in the Lions. So, let's get to it. Jameson Williams has a deep connection with one of the most exciting wide receiver prospects in this year's NFL draft, Luther Burden III. Now, this is where things get interesting because Burden isn't just another draft target. He has a personal history with Williams, and that could mean something when it comes to the Lions' draft plans. Let's break it down. Burden is a potential first-round pick out of Missouri and one of the most dynamic playmakers in this class. The Lions already have two 1,000-yard receivers in Jameson Williams and All-Pro Amon-Ra St. Brown, but adding depth to this receiver room isn't out of the question, especially when you consider how explosive this offense wants to be. And Burden? He has nothing but love for the Lions' top receivers, especially Williams, because these two have a long history. They're both from St. Louis, played in the same little league organization, and even attended the same high school for a while. It's not just a casual connection, it's a bond that could make Detroit an attractive landing spot for Burden. Williams has a lot of faith in Burden's talent. Last June, he was full of praise for his fellow St. Louis native, saying, "I think he's going to be a top 5 pick. He's one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen. Basketball, football, he's doing it. I watched every Mizzou game last year. I've never watched a Mizzou game before, I'm not going to lie. But Mookie, Cooper, and Luther, those are my guys." That's some real respect, Lions fans. And it's not just about their friendship. Burden loves Williams' game too. He admires the way Jameson plays, always looking to break a tackle, extend a play, and find an opening. Burden said, "I like how he always tries to make something happen when he gets the ball. He's got a mentality to score and not go down by the first guy." Sounds familiar, right? That's because Burden plays the same way. Last season, Pro Football Focus credited him with 30 forced missed tackles, tying him for the most in the nation. Even though his production dipped in 2024, going from 1,212 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2023 to 676 yards and 6 scores, he still showcased elite ability after the catch, the ability to beat man coverage and make contested catches. So why did his numbers take a hit? A couple of reasons. First, teams game planned against him, making it tough to get the ball in his hands. Burden himself acknowledged that, saying, "I feel like I'm pretty much a game plan focus for every team I face, so it's not going to be easy getting me the ball." On top of that, Missouri's starting quarterback, Brady Cook, was dealing with injuries, and his production dropped by about 800 passing yards and 10 touchdowns. That affected Burden's stats, but Cook had nothing but praise for his star receiver. "They're going to get a playmaker for sure," Cook said at the combine. "Someone who can change the game when he has the ball in his hands. That's Luther's thing, he's the superstar, get him the ball, and he's going to make special things happen." Now, here's the big question, would the Lions actually draft Burden? He's expected to be a first-round pick, and Detroit would have to be willing to use premium draft capital to get him. But don't forget, Brad Holmes and this front office aren't afraid to add talent, even to positions of strength. Yes, the Lions already have St. Brown and Williams, but with Tim Patrick and Allen Robinson hitting free agency, there's a need for depth. According to the mock draft database, Burden is projected to go in the first round in over 90% of mock drafts. He might not bring the same physical, outside presence as Patrick or Robinson, but he would add another dynamic weapon to an offense that has ranked top 5 in scoring for 3 straight seasons. And we all know how much this team values explosive playmakers. Burden isn't shy about his confidence either. When asked about his mindset heading into the draft, he said, "I just want to show that I'm the best on the field at all times. I've got my head down, chip on my shoulder, and I'm just ready to work. As soon as I get the ball, I'm trying to score, trying to put my team in the best position to be successful." So, Lions fans, what do you think? Should Detroit take a serious look at Luther Burden III in the first round? Would you like to see him reunite with Jameson Williams and add even more firepower to this offense? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's talk about a potential new addition to our secondary, Alabama safety Malachi Moore. If you've been paying attention to Brad Holmes' draft trends, you know he loves Alabama players. And honestly, who can blame him? Look at the guys he's brought in from Tuscaloosa: Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, and now Terrion Arnold. That's a serious pipeline of talent, and Holmes might not be done yet. With the NFL draft just around the corner, another Alabama star is making it known that he would love to join the Detroit Lions, and that's none other than Malachi Moore. The 6-foot, 201-pound defensive back made a big impact in his 5 years at Alabama. He put up 214 total tackles, 15.5 tackles for loss, 31 passes defensed, 7 interceptions, and forced 3 fumbles. Those are numbers that scream playmaker. And let's not forget, he was a first-team All-SEC selection last season. That means he's already competed against top-tier competition and thrived. One of the biggest storylines here is Moore's connection with 2 of the Lions' young stars, Brian Branch and Terrion Arnold. Moore and Branch were in the same Alabama recruiting class back in 2020, and according to Moore, they've been inseparable since. "We came in together as freshmen in 2020, and we were like 2 peas in a pod. We really were attached everywhere we went," Moore said. These guys have been learning and growing together for years, and Moore has been picking Branch's brain throughout this draft process. Even more interesting? Both Moore and Branch transitioned into full-time safety roles this past season, and they leaned on each other through that process. Moore said, "He got moved to safety this year also when I got moved to safety, so we would talk back and forth with each other on what we were seeing and how we could be instinctive and make plays." That kind of chemistry is rare, and it's exactly what you want in your defensive backfield. Now, imagine adding Moore to a Lions secondary that already features Branch, Arnold, and Kirby Joseph. This is a group that's young, physical, and plays with a serious edge. And it's clear that Moore wants to be a part of that. He said, "It would be great to play with my guys, Terrion and Brian Branch, on the defensive side of the ball. We already have that great chemistry. We come from the same lineage in college football and playing under Coach Nick Saban. We are like-minded. We are still brothers to this day, and our relationship is great." The Lions are always looking for versatile, high-IQ defensive backs who can make an impact in multiple areas. Moore isn't just a defensive playmaker, he's also logged over 500 career special teams snaps, which makes him even more valuable. He's projected as a mid-round pick, and according to the 33rd team's Kyle Krabs, he holds 4th-round value. If he's still available on day 3 of the draft, you have to think Detroit will give him a serious look. And while we're talking about Alabama defensive backs, let's not forget about Ole Miss cornerback Trey Amos. Would you like to see Malachi Moore reunited with Brian Branch and Terrion Arnold in Detroit? Do you think he could be a mid-round steal for this defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get the conversation going. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for all the latest Lions news. Let's go, Lions!